fucking stick. So I love stories like this. I'm very grateful for all of you ropers who I guess are not sick of me yet. So I love y'all for that. That's who my job depends on. Anyone want a cup of coffee? Coffee's on me. Come to New York, come to wherever. I'm heading to LA, God help me. Anyway, it's really hot out in the world again. I'm sick of it. I want the cold. Teresa, Teresa, Teresa. Um, Teresa has kind of just fucked up her chances of it's over. She has fucked up her chances. She wasn't going to go back onto the show. It wasn't going to happen. We are moving forward with Margaret and Melissa and oh God, help us, Dolores. Ugh, Dolores. But you weren't going back on the show anyway, Teresa. But even if they were considering it, which they're not, um sorry, girl, you just made a new fatal RHONJ mistake. Are you a moron? You know, you don't want me to be mean to Teresa, but the pea brain, I don't know if it's complete narcissism, complete ignorance with the fucking pea brain, but she just ruined her chances. She goes on Lewis. She says, never say never. Maybe I'm open to reconciling. Everyone can see through you, Teresa. Everybody knows this is just to get back on the show. You have Gia, Junior G. You know, my friend Junior G. Okay, there she is. She's not across the river because I'm not in New York City. She opens her big fucking yapper and she says, yeah, mom, good for you. Make up with them, blah, blah, blah. Of course, just to get back on the fucking show. I said she didn't really mean that because for through 2 years we sit around and we hear how she'll never, ever, ever, blah, 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 blah. Well, it turns out she meant it because then she's on her own podcast, opening up her yammer and talking about it and doubling down on it. Okay, so she's really that desperate? I mean, somewhere Melissa and Joe are laughing about this. I don't know where, but okay, I respect. Listen, you want to give me some money over here? I will get on all fours and bark like a dog. I'll bark like a goddamn cat. So I have no problem about begging for the dollar, okay? No shame in that game. But you can't have it both ways. You got to say, like me, like I'm David Yontef and I'll do anything for a dollar. You want me to put on a goddamn tutu and twirl like a fucking circus clown? Oh, here's my routing number. Put the money in and I'll twirl. But she tries to act like she's above it all, but she doubles down and now she's doing another podcast and she's tripling down and still talking about never say never. Now that is pathetic. Nobody believes that, but I respect that you because you realize the ship has sailed. There is no spin-off. Nobody wants anything to do with Looney Lou. The guy is off to Madrid now for eh, some conference on I don't even know, influencers or digital marketing. It's all bullshit, okay? So nobody wants anything to do with Looney Lou. There's no spin-off. It's over. You're not going back on RHONJ. And all we hear is never say never, and I want to reconcile. Okay, I'm on board with that. It's not going to happen. But now in the same interview, she makes a fatal mistake and puts the nail in her own coffin. And she's talking about the Evan cheating rumor with Jackie from 25,000 fucking years ago and that her brother set her up. She threw her brother under the bus. So is she dumb? It's a real question. I'm not being mean. Is she that stupid? I'm actually asking. It's a real question. I'm not being mean. Is she that dumb to realize that if you are going to put the narrative out to Jeff Lewis and on your own podcast and every podcast you do of wanting and being open to reconciling with your brother, which shocked Dolores, and you're open to it, do you realize, is your brain enough to realize that in the same interview, you have just contradicted yourself to throw your brother under the bus to say, she says she was set up by her brother to expose the Evan cheating rumor that Margaret, yes, it was Margaret. I said that on this podcast. Go back and roll tape. We talked about this over and over again for every day. because we all know Margaret is not fucking innocent with those finstas under the bed and Lexi's ass crack and putting a whale on a fucking shirt and getting her ass sued. Margaret started the damn rumor, told Joe, and then Joe brought it on the show, or told Teresa, and then Teresa brought it on the show. Who cares? It's 20 years ago, but she threw her brother under the bus. So if the narrative is that you're open to reconciling, and that is the one little hope that you have to get back on the show, which has been pulled away from you, you cannot then say that your brother that you're throwing your brother under the bus and that you're blaming him because he played you and he told you about this Evan rumor. And then she says that she was at a party. Let me read you exactly. She says she was at the party, Jackie's birthday party, and she said it was boring as fuck. And that a producer said, be interesting. This is so boring. She said the producers are like, be on. So she's like, Teresa tells us she's like a producer now because she's been on the show for 18 years. So Teresa is telling us now on the podcast, she's like a producer, not a producer in the bad way. I think she just threw all the producers under the bus also. But she says we're on a TV show. So to keep it interesting, she went to Jackie's good friends, Dolores and Margaret, and said, there's this rumor out there about Jackie. And she was just trying to be a girl's girl. And so all that's okay and nobody cares, but you're throwing your brother under the bus. She's accusing Joe Gorga. She says, you set me up. My brother set me up. These are the exact words. And she blamed him for telling her about the Evan cheating rumor. And that's how it got out there. And then she throws him under the bus and says, my brother set it up because he didn't want to bring it out on the show. So he made me do it. And that's why she's now made up with Jackie because she realizes she was used by her brother. All of this is okay and nobody cares. But are you dumb and do you not realize that you're contradicting yourself when you say you want to make up with him? That this goes against that? Or, yeah, I'm really, really riled up apparently. Or is it once again so arrogant and so narcissistic to think that you can say, I want to make up with my brother? By the way, he set me up. I blame him. I'm throwing him under the bus, but I still want to make up with him. Is it arrogance or is it narcissism and not realizing you just threw your brother under the bus? Maybe he doesn't want to make up with you. Maybe it doesn't matter if you want to make up with him. It's a fatal mistake. You just, all this narrative that you rehearse. Oh, and by the way, on this podcast, she said, I don't know if they're filming. Does the professor take the test? You already said that on Jeff. So it's not your fucking scumbag lawyer because you fired him. Is Louis giving her? It's the same sentences. She practiced in the mirror. So all the practice, she's telling, does the professor take the test and this and that? And if they were filming, there'd be pictures. So everything you just practiced is now out the window because you just threw him under the bus. You don't want to reconcile. You don't mean it. You just put the nail in your own coffin. Scheana, rumor is Scheana has upset Bravo producers. Lala is filming for the